Let me show you the process of a slow stitch project with embroidery. Hello everyone, this is Anne from Odulcina. Today I want to show you how I use my fabric to create a slow stitch project that could be for a quilt, that could be for a junk journal cover, any kind of projects. And I wanted to show you that most of my designs are made to be cut in little pieces. So my fabric, even if they look great together, this is the collage fabric. They were initially made in my mind to be separated in smaller pieces like that. So you have a big fabric, it all matches together, but you need to see in that fabric all the options that you have when you tear the fabric in different sizes and just take little parts of it. And that is exactly what I'm doing in this video. So as you can see, I'm playing with, well, different fabrics because I have more than just this collage fabric there, which is still mostly the one that I've used there. And I just cut and recut and trim and make it to the size that would fit for my design. Every little pieces of fabric that I'm not using will be kept for another project because we all know that even a little stripe of fabric or a little 1 inch by 1 inch piece of fabric is good. We love those, we're gonna use them. So even if sometime I've trimmed and I retrimmed and I made little pieces that I won't use, they're not a waste. They'll be good for another project. Pretty much all of my fabrics are matching together. The designs are printed on 100% cotton. It's heavy cotton, perfect for quilting, sewing projects, and of course junk journals and embroideries. And I made sure that I can tear the fabric on all the sides of the fabric so we can have pieces like that that are tiered on all the sides, and it looks more shabby chic and lovely to me than a straight cut with scissors. You can get my fabric only on my website odulcina.ca, and I do ship worldwide, and I do have flat rate shipping for different countries. So I have a specific flat rate shipping for Canada, one for the US, and the tariffs are all included and paid by me, so you don't have any surprise to get your package and you don't have to pay any extras. For international, it's a flat rate as well that is a little bit different. And if your country do have a VAT or special tax, well, then you might have to pay an extra invoice. But it's not every country, so those of you probably know. And here is how I made this little collage of fabric. You could make the same thing with digitals printed on fabric or on paper. That would not be the same style on paper, but all that you see there are my fabrics, but I do have all the designs available as digitals in my Etsy shop as well. So now that I made all of my collage, it's time to add a little bit of laces, and you can go crazy with laces, you can add a lot. I kept it simple because I want to add some embroideries as well. I find that adding laces just adds that little extra dimension, and it makes it a little bit more feminine and a little bit more sophisticated, if I can say, than just using fabrics. And because those antique French laces that I'm using are expensive, and I don't need a lot to put this extra touch on my project, I'm just using little pieces here and there, and that's it. you don't need that much to make a difference. And you can save your laces to make more projects out of it than putting too much laces and always buy new laces because you use too much on your projects. And this is why it's important that you get laces that you love and that makes your projects beautiful, because you don't use that much of laces, but they do make the little powwow of your project, to my own opinion. And if you want to make a similar project but with darker colors, you could just tea stain or coffee stain, but I'm I prefer tea stain personally. You could just tea stain all of those fabrics, and you will bring them to another level of colors. They will be darker, of course, a little bit less shabby chic, maybe more of a grungy look, but that's the beauty of fabric, is that you can take them as is, but you can bring them to another level by adding the tea stain on it. What I'm doing with my stash of fabric is, of course, when it's a brand new fabric, you need to wash it in the washing machine, in the dryer, and so it tightens all the fibers there. But there's always a little part of the fabrics that I put aside and I tea stain it. So when I want to work on a project, I already have a stash of fabric that is already washed, ready to be used, or already stained in a darker tone, and then I can just play. Because planning and then having to wash or tea stain and then come back later, you just lose all of your momentum and your creativity, maybe, or even the time that you had to play with is kind of gone by then. So if you really want to have fun, is to have stash of fabric already ready. So if you love the tea stain on the fabric, you might as well do little batches. You take some fabrics, you cut little pieces here and there of different fabrics. You tea stain them all together, and then you put them in a bag or in a box, and you're ready to go. Next step, I'm adding some slow stitching. And in order to do that, it's just funky straight lines. It can be more than that. You can do some X's, some dots. You can play with, but in my case, I made sure that I did stitching all around the fabrics, and some places I did like little stripes and rows all together of stitches in a wonky way. Like, you don't want them to be all aligned and all the same length, and this is the slow stitch look, kind of. And this is the part I like. During the summer, I can go outside in my rocking chair and I just slow stitch for hours. It depends of the size of the project. I can watch a video or listen to a podcast too. This is where my brain is free. I don't have to think about the process. I don't have to get some creativity. I just do slow stitching, following the fabrics, and it's kind of easy to do because you can't go wrong. There's no mistake there. You just do stitches however you feel. And remember, we love those old pieces that our grandma did, and if you look at them, they're pretty simple. So when you want to create some, don't overthink the process. Just do simple, and you're gonna love it. And now the last step is to add little fancy details. You can add ribbon, embroideries, pearls, buttons, any little charms that you have there. So it's the finishing touch. And to me, it's the worst part because I never know if I should add more or stop there. And I'm stressing out that maybe it won't look great if I add this or that. And that's why I'm using an erasable pen that I can draw some lines or designs and have an idea where I'm going with that. And then at the end, I can just erase it with my heat gun. The challenge here is that these little decorations that we are adding in this last part of the project is overlapping the fabric, the laces, different designs. So it's hard to figure out how it's going to look like at the end and what to do to. Even like the embroideries or stitches that I would like to add there, it's like a little bit for the crazy quilt. It is lovely, but which one I'm gonna put there? It's like I'm in my Pinterest and ideas and trying to figure out which one I want to put there. And at the end, I just come up with something from my brain because, and my ideas because nothing nothing is like what I've done. So anyway, that's the worst part. You might struggle like me with that. But what I'm learning with time is that I should never overthink the process again because I can spend an hour watching and trying to find ideas on Pinterest, and at the end, I do something completely new that came from my own idea. So, yeah, that's the reality. It's been a while since the last time I've been doing some silk ribbon embroideries. I'm not showing you how to do today. I have a whole playlist on my YouTube channel. I'll put the links in the description below for you to find easily how to do those gorgeous ribbon roses and the leaves. It might look complicated, but it's just a matter of knowing the technique. I remember the first French knot that I've been doing. I had to watch the tutorial 10 times. And then to do my second French knot, I had to watch it again maybe 5 times because I couldn't remember what I had done for the first one. And but after just a few, I never had to watch a tutorial again. And then I started to have fun making French knots and everything. So those roses, it's about the same. It starts with a French knot and then you just stitch through the ribbon and you pull it. Technically, that's all I'm doing. So if you love the style, just practice a little bit and you're going to see they're very, very easy to do. And the wow effect of adding silk ribbon roses like that on any project is totally a wow. That's the pow wow that I call. This little piece of fabric will become a junk journal cover in a coming video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.